Okay, good afternoon. This is John Majori for MajoriOnBowie.com. I am here with West, British musician. This is the first ever international live interview for MajoriOnBowie.com. I am so grateful for you joining me here today. Let me just explain how I found you. So a weekly feature that I have on the blog is I look for covers of David Bowie songs, and I
Yeah,
choose a cover of the week every Monday. And West did a wonderful, wonderful cover of Starman, which was not only outstanding, but it came in a week where there were many, many very good covers. And I not only chose it as the cover of the week, but I listed out a top 10 because there were so many good ones. But your cover, it just took me. It was beautiful, first of all, and also some covers try to sort of really capture the sound of David Bowie, and those could be great. But others, such as what you did, took the song as a starting point and really took it to a different place. This was not David Bowie's Starman, and so I really thought that it was a new piece of music, and I loved it. So I'm so
thank you.
appreciative of you joining me today. Before we get started with my questions, do you want to just say a little bit about yourself?
First of all, thank you very much for having me as well. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And this is also my first, in proper interview as well. So I'm grateful. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm an artist from the UK. I live in Norwich, which is east of the UK, so about 2 hours away from London. And yeah, man, I do I do rap music, melodic rap, and also started doing a little bit of more corridos tumpados, which is more like Latin genre.
Yeah.
So yeah, 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 man.
So I'm going to do a little out of order because you mentioned
Yeah,
the Latin genre. When I heard your cover, and this tells you a little bit about how little I know about music, but I it almost had a kind of calypso feel to it.
yeah,
Um, is that the link?
yeah. That is. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just I don't know. I because I've been doing it for almost a year and a half now, and I just thought like, yeah, I listen to a lot of music out of my natural field, that
Yeah.
makes sense. I like exploring different type of genres where it's also not in English. I like listening to songs, especially not in English, and just it opens like a new world. So that kind of, opened my mind up a little bit as well.
When I found that, I started listening to some of your other songs. You have several posted on YouTube, which is where I found them. And I thought that the style you did Starman in was a little different than some of the other songs you did, which you mentioned
Yeah,
rap. They sounded more hip hop to me.
yeah.
Um, I wanted to start in a different place, but as long as we're here, it's can you say more about why you're exploring beyond where you started musically?
Well, um, the reason I went for that genre was just because like it's something I want to present to the world,
Yeah,
but at the same time I was also trying to challenge myself because it's like it's something I do on my own. Only I listen to those songs that I make in that way and don't
yeah,
really show them because when I did that cover of Starman, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this and I'm also gonna show it to people and show like as much as I do rap, there's another side of me that I'm exploring and I want to show it. I want to show it out, you
yeah.
know? So it's yeah, it was a big thing for me, but I enjoyed it. It's different. That's a nice piece to it as well, in a
Yeah.
way.
What attracted you to Starman in particular?
The guitar.
Yeah,
The original version of Starman by David Bowie is like because I did a show, right? Rework Norwich, and it was to do a cover of this local artist doing covers of David Bowie, and you have to go do the songs but in your own way with your own style. So I was like, all right, cool. For a month, I think for a month, I thought we had to go there and do David Bowie's songs in this on these beats, and just go do it like that. And I think it got to the night before the show, and I messaged the presenter, and she said, "No, you have to do it in your style." And I was like, "Oh, for a whole month I've been trying to hit the right notes like Bowie, trying to do everything right." And then I sat there for an hour. I was like, "Nah, I'm gonna listen to a few more songs." And I found Starman and Let's Dance. I really like Let's Dance. Found Starman, and I was like, you know what? Starman doesn't like veer off too much of what I do. Because if you really listen to it, in a sense, David Bowie is also rapping. There is like
Yeah.
kind of a rap flow to it. And also I like guitars. That's why I picked it. And it's like it's not too far of rap. There's rhyming schemes within that song that's also used in rap. So I was like, you know what? It's not too far, but I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna put it on a Latin instrumental
Right.
and see what I come up with. Because I just like creating as well. So but it's definitely the rhyming scheme and the guitars they used within the instrumental, and just it had a nice flow to it. That's what drew me to it a lot. So yeah,
When you were performing it live, it's the recording that I heard, which I posted on the blog. You couldn't have been doing everything. There was some voice overlays. It sounded like you were accompanied by instruments other than the guitar. Um, what were some of the techniques you brought to making the studio recording of the song?
just harmony,
Yeah.
harmonies. I think yeah, there's a lot of because there's a lot of harmonies that I brought to it just to make it sound like it's not too alone. Because as much as the instrumental is doing too much, I don't want it to be too much in your face.
Right.
I still want it to have that kind of soft layer behind it. So you're still listening to it where
Yeah.
it's like calm, not too much, but the energy still there because of
Yeah.
the guitars going. Yeah. I think I just went with like I'm just gonna use some melodies in the back, but not too much, just subtle.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you also overlaid some what I would call chatter. There's some voices. What are they saying, and what were you trying to do with that?
Just ride the beat. I
Yeah.
was just in the moment, was just in the moment, whatever came to my head was like, okay, this makes sense. And I want it on there. So I'm gonna put it on there. It's just being free as well, not thinking too much. So whatever came to my head in that moment, I would try and, put it on it. And if it made sense, it made sense. I'll just, yeah.
Yeah. Great. Well, it's a triumph. I mean, it really sounds terrific. And
Thank you very
you're
much.
telling me about the show. I wish I could have been there, but I live in Albany, New York. So I
Hopefully, one day I'll come down to New York and have a show there, and I'll get you there, man.
if you come to New York, I'll come by all means.
Yeah, for sure.
Let me
Thank
ask
you.
you a couple other questions.
Yeah,
So I a previous interview I did was with a gentleman who's older than myself, who music
yeah,
is not his primary pursuit, but he does do music, and he was talking about how in earlier days in the 80s and 90s, it was often you could only access certain types of music or certain artists by going to particular clubs, and there was a club scene that doesn't really exist anymore. And he was
yeah.
talking about how the way we listen to music now is so individualized that the communal accessibility of music has been lost to some extent. And the pushback that I gave to him, I actually was thinking of your song. I talked to him after I listened to your song for the first time. Is
Yeah.
I'm sitting here in Albany, New York, and I'm hearing you, and I wouldn't have found you if it wasn't for the internet. So what is it like actually performing and trying to not trying to, but maintaining an audience and building on an audience, and what is it like performing today?
Is it's very different, and it's like as much as you put your music out there, you still need to go out there in a sense. But it's really if you don't know the people who have these venues and setting up these events, it's kind of hard in a sense to put yourself out there physically. Whereas
Yeah.
like if you put it on the internet, yeah, it will your music will be found by people. But I don't know, I just feel like it's better when it's more in person. You actually get to see what the person is like and how they share their art and how they perform with it. And I think it's still the same, but it's not too far. It's not because now it's like, how can I say this? It's like if people, I don't know how to explain it, but if let's say if people find an artist they're interested in, whereas they would have to, I don't know how to explain it, man. I don't know how to explain it. I'm just trying to think about it. If I was to compare it to like back in the day, more artists would, I don't know. I've lost the plot. I've lost I've lost what I'm trying to say. But I just it's easier. It's harder now, I think, because like to connect with people is, I don't know. You have to have some type of buzz already,
Yeah,
in a sense. Whereas like I feel like in the old days, if you go, there will be signs there saying, I think so anyway. I think there will be signs there saying, oh, there's an open mic tonight. Feel free to come put your name and come show your music. Where now it's not really like that. You need
yeah.
to know someone who owns the place and you know. Yeah.
You have uh, again, I'm using YouTube as the point of connection. You have, I think, over 50 videos or 50 recordings at least, and some of the
Yeah.
videos they seem very professionally produced. How do you promote them? How do you get people to be aware that they're there?
Just using social media,
Hmm.
being on every app that is where you can get your face out there, where you can get your art out there. So for me, I use YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, especially TikTok right now. But it's just the thing of knowing the right keywords to push your work out, because that's how these platforms work. But for me, I use mostly Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok.
Yeah.
That's those are the ways to just I push my music out.
Does
Yeah,
that give you more of an international audience, or
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
100%, yeah, 100%. Because there's way more people like who who are really engaged with these apps. They engage with it so much to the point where when you post something, it's guaranteed to reach someone in, I don't know, Brazil,
hmm,
and you might be on the other side of the world. And it does give me like a wide range of audiences for sure.
yeah. So I was going to ask, how could people access your music, and you just answered that. But let me. So a lot of my readerships are, well, everybody that comes to my blog comes because they're interested in David Bowie, and this is the point of
Yeah.
connection. If you were to recommend, they like your version of Starman, and they go to your YouTube site and they see 50 videos, what would you recommend they might try next?
Try next as in what songs of mine to
Yep.
listen to.
Yeah.
Um, Definitely listen to Starman because it's a direction I'm going in. So that song is a stamp to actually say like when I do in future when I do release like an album of songs where they sound almost similar to that,
Yep.
then they will know like, okay, they didn't just start doing this. There's actually, a story behind it. There's, a whole path to actually how I go better with it. So definitely I say go listen to Starman. But if you do, I'm versatile. So I would whatever people as well feel like if they go on my page and they see, I like Starman, but I like, let's say, Trust Nobody better, then it's up to them at the end of the day. But I'd say go listen to Starman because it's not a usual, thing you hear,
Yeah.
so definitely that.
Okay. I'm just going to ask a couple more questions.
Yeah,
Um,
no problem.
so going back to Bowie, so you told me how you selected Starman. Uh, uh, were you a fan of Bowie before you participated in this particular concert?
Yes, yes, but not. I knew of Bowie and I knew some of his songs, but I wasn't like, you know, I knew he was a legend, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I wasn't, I would not necessarily go on my way to go listen to him because it was just, I don't know, it's some songs I enjoy, some I don't really, they're not my thing,
yeah,
you know. But at the same time, there are a few songs where I've heard and I'm able to recognize, oh yeah, that's David Bowie. So I'd say I've known of him, but I've not really been a fan compared to
yeah,
now. Now I'm a fan, 100%,
yeah.
yeah. Because
Do
when
you?
I
No, go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite album or favorite song of his?
Ziggy Stardust and Star. I like Starman and Let's Dance.
Yeah.
Let's Dance is so groovy, man. I can't believe that. That
Uh,
song is so sick.
I'm
I like
really
that one.
hoping you record Let's Dance. That would be terrific.
Yeah, I did. I did, but not on a Latin instrumental.
Yeah.
But Starman definitely. Yeah, that one was so different.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well,
I like
great.
Starman a lot.
Um, so you mentioned if you ever come to New York, have you ever performed in the United States?
Uh no, I haven't, but I will one day.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well,
Yeah.
please keep in touch, and if you do, I'll promote it on the blog, and I'll come. If you're in the Eastern United States, New York
Yeah.
or close by, I'll be there because you're very talented, and I really enjoyed Starman as a starting point, and I was listening to some of your other songs, and it's you
Yeah.
know I part of the thing that's exciting for me about this project is that it exposes me to music that I wouldn't necessarily have otherwise known about, and I'm
Yeah.
really, really grateful to have found your music. So, any last thing you want to say?
Um, how did you get that background? Because I wanted.
So this is a fake background. I downloaded the picture, and on Zoom you can use a picture instead of the real background. I'll
Yeah, I'll
here.
figure that out. That's sick because I want to do all my Zoom calls like just different now. That's
Yeah.
cool, man.
Oh, or watch this. That's the real background. That's what's really behind.
That's so cool.
Oh, that's
Little books there.
yeah. Here, we're joined by David Bowie right now.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
legend.
we'll
The
end
legend.
it with this.
Yeah. Ah,
So
man.
so Wes, thank you very much for joining me. I look forward to hearing from you again, and please very much let's stay in touch.
For sure. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you. I look forward to listening to you soon.
Well, thank you very much. Have a good one, man.